Hello everyone, welcome to this next episode of 9x Tool Demo, where we show you the best and latest of SaaS, no-code and AI tools. Today I am joined with Patrick Kelly from Curator. Welcome Patrick.
Thank you. Excited to be here.
Excited to have you. We had a month ago a video on Human in the Loop from Make that got quite some attention, and then you went knocking at our door with a tool that does Human in the Loop for all the other tools.
Exactly.
Super. Can you tell us maybe a little bit more about Curator before I ask you to share your screen? So what does it allow us to do?
Yeah, so Curator is based on the simple premise that when you're generating content with AI in your automations, most of the time, obviously, you're trying to prevent human steps, but a lot of the time there are very reasonable places where you actually do want to have some human confirmation. And so anytime the AI is about to take some kind of potential destructive action or posting something publicly that, could look bad on your business if it's too obviously AI generated or kind of incorrect, that's where Curator steps in. You can easily integrate human confirmation or even revision steps, which you'll see in the demo, into automations on any platform.
That sounds amazing. Do you have any particular audience, people that you target, or is it really like a general purpose tool that you're offering?
Right now, it's really for anybody that's using workflow automations and generative AI. You could use it even without an automation tool, technically through our API, but for the most part, it makes sense when you're generating content with AI and you want some layer of sort of safety in that. But I think there are even industries where it makes a lot more sense because there are industries like imagine health or legal or places where probably they might not even legally be allowed to move forward without some layer of human confirmation. So we're exploring that, but right now I'd say it's for everybody that does automations.
Okay, so if you're watching the video and you have some good ideas of use cases, Patrick is also, we'll look at what you're saying and maybe we can find some good use cases for Curator. Do you want to share your screen now and give us a demo?
Sure thing. So this is the Curator dashboard. So this is what we call a step or like a confirmation step that I've set up. Now, one thing that's really special about Curator is that there's actually almost no real setup in Curator required in order to make it work. Most of the work is just adding it into your automation, and that's also quite easy. So what I'm going to do is I'll just jump into the actual final flow, and then we could talk a little more about the setup if we have time or if we want to. So my demo is set up in Make. And so what I've done is I've created this YouTube comment reply system. So when a new comment comes into my YouTube channel, it's going to automatically generate a reply with OpenAI. But then instead of posting it right away, it's actually going to send a request to Curator to create a revision session. You can see here, I'm sending the comment ID, the original comment text, the author's display name, and then the result, which is our AI generated reply. So this is where things are really cool. So instead of posting that right away, we create a session in Curator, and then we email ourselves a link to that session. So this link could go to anyone in the world. It might be your internal team, might be a customer. You can do that all with automation. So that's the exciting part. And so let's actually go to my YouTube channel, and I will make a test comment here. I'm going to say, hey, this product looks great. Can I try it? So I'm going to just comment there. So I posted a new comment. Now I'm going to go back to my Make dashboard. And I think for the purposes of this video, I can just trigger it to run now instead of running on maybe some kind of interval or something like that. I'm going to click run once, and you can see it is running. It's generating something with OpenAI, and now it's created the Curator session and it's emailed it to me. So everything's worked quite smoothly. I'm going to hop into my inbox and just hit refresh here. So you can see this is just, this is really basic, but I could have beefed this up a little bit. Hey, Patrick, please review or revise. So this link is taking me into Curator. So I'm just going to click this link, jumps me right into the Curator page. And now this is cool because this is truly a unique session. Like this interface doesn't exist outside of this unique link. And it's quite a unique link. So it's secure in the sense that no one will ever be able to randomly guess this link. So now I can just go in and I can this is an AI generated comment. So right here, you can see it's done yourwebsite.com. Even if that's the only thing I want to change, I can just say Curator app.ai and then leave the rest of it. Everything's good. I've set these two fields to be not editable, but I can show you in the dashboard how you can adjust that as well. But if I hit confirm, that's going to post that comment. And so if I just go back to my page and refresh this, I think we should see if everything's run smoothly. There we go. My comment
Perfect demo.
And you can see that curator.app.ai, the website link that I had updated is there. So this is just a simple example, but I think everybody can hopefully relate to this idea and realize that obviously this could be used for anything. The whole point is that Curator is platform agnostic. So that means that we're not limiting you to using Make or Zapier or, any particular platform, and it can surely be used for all kinds of content.
Super amazing. So there's definitely a use case we are going to have very soon, hopefully, if our YouTube channel is growing. Answering in the comments. What are some of the other use cases, typical patterns you see people using Curator for?
So one thing that makes Curator quite special is that Curator can handle complex objects. So what I showed you was still essentially 3 text fields in an object. So it had the author name, they're just plain text. But what makes Curator really special is that you can actually send in like an array of objects, a list of multiple complex records, and Curator will visualize it in a table or a list or sort of this form thing where the user can still freely edit it. And the whole idea here is you're wanting to give your user as much ability to edit as possible without breaking your data structure. Because as you know, if you worked with APIs, even in Make, like you saw, I have to pass that comment ID back and forth in order for YouTube to be able to post that comment reply to the right comment. And so if you're just dealing with one blob of plain text, you can't do that. It'd be useless. You could revise text, but what are you going to do with it? It would be single purpose. So if we have time, I could show you what that looks like, but
of course, let's see it. So for more advanced use case.
Yeah, I think it's interesting to just get a sense of that. So here, I'll share my screen again.
And what would be amazing as well, Patrick, is I'm pretty sure there's some people who would love to try Curator for that use case particular that you showcased, replying to YouTube comments. So if you have the blueprint, I think some people would be definitely interested in testing it.
Yeah, I bet. No, we'll definitely, if anyone just wants to sign up and send us a message, we've got our chat system in place here in the app. So you can always send us a message and we'll help you out.
Super cool.
So I've created, I created this before, but I think it's actually worth showing how easy it is to create a brand new thing in Curator. So if I click create step, this is what happens. So I can give it a name. I'll call this e-commerce products or something. Let's just say that I had some kind of automation that I wanted to generate multiple products. You can see that our default example here, we're trying to make it as easy as possible. You can literally paste this into Make or your automation platform, and it's got your actual API key and stuff pre-populated. So you can just paste this in and it will just work immediately. So I don't have to do anything else in Curator. I can just take this and then I can go into Make. So I'll create let's see, maybe I'll turn off these scenarios. I'll just create a new scenario, and all I'll do, just for the sake of this, this demo, I'm going to just make an HTTP request, and that's it. So this is not like you'd want to do something a bit fancier. You'd have some kind of automation set up, but
for testing and demo, this is perfect already, and that's something. For the beginner Make users, once you understand how to make HTTP requests with Make, sky's the limit. So it's also a good example.
That's the thing. We're not here to teach you how to use Make, because the assumption is that you're probably doing it. I mean, we'll probably make some tutorials on this kind of stuff anyway. So here's what you do: you copy and paste this endpoint, which is the same for every Curator create session. So that you can just memorize, but you can copy and paste that into the URL. And then you go down, and once you get your request body going here, you can see this data key right here is the thing that is 100% open-ended. So I have these items that have name and price. I could add another field if I want to each one that's called description, let's say, and I can just put some random text in there. So this is what makes it so special, is that when you're dealing with AI, one of the things is you might not even 100% know what your data structure is going to be in advance. I mean, probably you will, but it's nice that it's this flexible. So you don't have to go and build a user interface just to make this work. So what I'm going to do is
I think you still have a GET request. It needs to be a post request.
You are correct. I think. Yes, thank you. That would be, he's saving me from an embarrassing demo. Okay. So this is, remember, this is what the old session looked like. And so what I'm going to do is run that one time. And hopefully that works. I think it's sent to Curator. So all it should have done is created a session, and you can see it responds with this session link. This is really tiny. It's not that critical to see right now. What's important is that in Curator, now that I've done that one time, that's established the data structure. So I can hit refresh data, and you can see now things start to get pretty interesting. So
wow.
Now I have these multiple items, and I'm not going to bother going into the live session to do this because we have a live editor right here. You can actually delete items and add items, and your end user is able to do that. So this is a preview of what your end user can do. And if you wanted it to be visualized a little bit differently, look, you can go into the items over here, and you could say, actually, I'd rather this be a table, or I'd rather this be a form. Oh, sorry, the form is the default, or a list. And so what happens is when you click on an item, it goes into this little detail view, and this is all within this dynamically generated interface. So your end user is able to edit this structured data like this, and then hit confirm, and it's going to send it right back into your system. So that's something that makes Curator special, and we're just getting started.
This is really exciting, because I was going to say for those who are used to building automations, maybe you can create an internal Slack notification and a button approve or reject or edit.
Yeah.
And you maybe, okay, so what? I can tweak things, and maybe I can save some money there and build my own. But that's what you just showed now. That's very complicated to make. And if you have a use case that fits into that, it's a no-brainer to outsource to Curator, and I can see really like the potential for more advanced humans in the loop, not just a simple one box of input. Super cool.
One thing that we are last thought about Curator is that we're also thinking a lot about the collaboration side of things. So what I don't have time to demo here is that you can actually send the user email address with your request when you create a session, and then your user will actually have a dashboard where they'll have a list of pending approvals that they can go through. And so you can really build it up. We're also working on this ability to have different roles. So you could say, I want this moderator role to be the final one. Like, they're the only one that can finally submit it, but other people can revise it, and that kind of stuff. So
human in the loop.
Yeah.
Human in the loopception. Yeah, it's true. Like, it's a very new pattern in how we're going to use software. Like, AI does the job first, and then human reviews. But
exactly.
You've changed a bit my perception on how to see that, because for me, so far, when we talked about human in the loop, we're just thinking about one person going to say yes or no, or yes or edit. But actually, when you think about it, for some more advanced processes, there's going to be different roles and maybe a certain level of hierarchy, and only one person with particular hierarchy can approve, and others will review. So that's very interesting. Very, very interesting. All right. So last question, how can we get Curator? What's the best way to reach out to you or to get started with Curator?
So you can go to the website today. It's curatorapp.ai. You can sign up, and everybody gets 50 free sessions automatically. And then the pricing is purely usage based. So you can sign up. There's no subscription. You can just buy a bundle of credits and you can use them, and it's very affordable. So we'd love to see people in there trying out different things. And honestly, get in touch. I'd love to talk to everybody individually about their use cases and brainstorm. And, we're really excited to keep building this product, but we want to build it with our users. So thanks for having us here, and excited to hopefully connect with some more users.
Thanks a ton, Patrick. Was really, really good. The demo was flawless. I think you managed to convince you with this one. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and go check out Curator. I will definitely, if I have more advanced human in the loops use cases, I am not going to build what Patrick showed in the demo myself.